G'day, my name is Cloudy and welcome to this general survivor guide for Dead by Daylight. Firstly, all survivors are essentially the same in Dead by Daylight, unlike killers. The only thing that differs for survivors are their teachable perks. Each survivor will have 3 teachable perks which can be learnt and then applied to any other survivor once you have reached level 30, 35 and 40 on that specific survivor. These perks can be good or bad, but that will be covered in another video. Alright, so main objectives of survivors. Yes, it might be obvious. Generators. Unhooks. Not hiding. Let's go more in depth on this one. Okay, so generators, there's quite a lot to learn about generators. I think like at the start when you might start playing, it's pretty hard to find generators. The easiest way or things to help you is if you look like in the sky, there's like lights or like, yeah, big lights in the sky, and if they're off, then there's a generator there that hasn't been completed, and if they're on, then that generator has been completed. Next, while you're on a generator, it's really good to be looking around your screen and not just like sitting there holding mouse 1, because if there's a killer with no heartbeat, they could sneak up on you and grab you off the gen or get a free hit in a chase. A more sort of rank 1-ish like pro-type tip is to prioritize certain gens. So there's types of gens that I would say are safe gens and unsafe gens depending on how many loops and pallets are close to it. You want to really prioritize the unsafe gens first. Like, if you get rid of them, then the rest of the game is going to be way easier for you, because if a killer comes to pressure your gen, you have pallets and loops right next to you. Also, the middle generator, or whatever generator is closest to the middle of the map, is also a good one to do, so that at the end of the game, when you're trying to do the last gen, all 3 of the last ones remaining are not like in a little triangle that the killer can just roam. Okay, the second main objective, unhooks. Let's talk about unhooks. A big misplay that I see made across all ranks, not even just lower ranks, but even at rank 1, is people don't use hook time as a resource. If someone is on the hook and you instantly unhook them, that killer can just get straight back in chase with them. Straight away. And if they just tunnel, then they can get a kill within like 1 minute and 1.5 minutes. And that is really bad for your team. So what you want to do is not go for the unhook straight away, but make sure you're trying to get safe unhooks when the killer's not around, and in the meantime, be doing generators. Another big thing is don't give free second stages on hooks. This means do not leave players on the hook for more than half of that bleed out time, because then when they get unhooked, they're only 1 hook from death. And that's a big win for the killer if someone goes second stage on a hook without being unhooked. So that means if you see that someone's like 1/4 into their first stage and no one's unhooked them, probably go towards the unhook just in case no one else is going. Alright, and the last thing I said, not hiding pretty strongly. I see a lot of new players just hiding from the killer. If you just hide, your chase points will be 0 or very low, and that's one of the 4 emblems for Survivor that you need to be able to rank up and get better at the game. Running the killer or trying to distract the killer is like really good for your team, because it lets them do gens, it also gives you points, and it will get you a lot better at the game in terms of looping and distracting the killer and staying alive. So please don't be scared of the killer. There's only very certain situations that you want to hide from the killer and not get into a chase. And for an example of one of these is if the killer has just downed someone, then you don't want to get seen, because then he just gets another free chase straight away. Like if he's not in chase, then you can hide, but if he's in chase, then you can like take the killer off that person to help them or whatever. Alright, next point, chases and looping. This is a big one, and I think quite a hard one to learn, so I want to do another video or more specific videos of these in the future, but I'll try and cover a bunch of it just quickly now. So loop safety, meaning if there's a pallet with a really small loop around it, like a small circle that you could run, it's really unsafe. So you don't want to like stay and wait at that pallet really. You just want to use it if the killer's like right on you, and then you could use the pallet, but other than that, don't wait at it. Windows. Windows are probably a survivor's best friend in the game, because they don't like just get used once and then they're gone. Like you can use them multiple times and it's not wasting a resource. So if you can find a window that has like a circle around it that you could run through the window, like run the circle back through the window, that is a really strong loop for you as a survivor because you can outvolt the killer. Right? You just need to be careful of mind games from the killer, and if he doesn't follow you through the window, then make sure you know where he is. Next point, wasting pallets. I see a lot of players, even at high ranks, that wait at pallets, and this is really situational, but the majority of the time you want to be waiting on the loop somewhere if the killer's close to you, like on the circle of that pallet, but don't wait in the pallet because then the killer can just force you to throw it early and then you've just wasted like the whole loop, rather than running it in a circle until you have to throw the pallet down. And there's certain pallets in the game, like the Killer Shack pallet, which is also a really important one not to waste because that pallet can like burn so much time for the killer and for you guys to do generators. My last point on chasing and looping is just learning the map. So like the more you play, the more you'll learn where pallets spawn and which ones are very safe and unsafe pallets, stuff like that. But that's just playtime. You guys will pick that up. 4. Perks to look out for. I'm not going to go too in depth on perks because again we can do that in another video more specifically, but I'll just give you 3 that you want to look out for right now. First one, barbecue and chili. It allows the killer to see your aura after they hook someone if you're more than like 32 meters away. So if you feel like you're a bit far from the hook, then you can go like slowly go into a locker and then you'll hide yourself from barbecue. The killer can't see you. Or also crouching behind a generator that's not completed will hide you from barbecue. And this is really important because barbecue gives the killer momentum. It means he can hook someone and then instantly get back into a chase because he knows where you are. Next one is Nurse's Calling. If you notice that when you're healing, the killer like keeps coming to you just randomly, he probably has the Nurse's Calling, meaning that he can see you if you're like close to him and healing. And if you pick up on that, then don't heal while you can hear the killer's heartbeat, is pretty much my biggest tip. Noed. I mentioned it in my killer video, but I really don't like this perk. It's very, I don't know, table turning, let's say. Pretty much what you want to be doing throughout the game is doing the totems. There's 5 totems in each game, and if you break all of them, then at the end of the game, Noed can't even activate. It just makes that perk useless for the killer, which is really big for you guys. So just do totems, alright? Alright, my next point, and the second last point here, is the end game. There's not too much to cover here. Yes, there's 2 doors. What you want to be doing as a survivor, if you're not one of the ones on the doors, then you want to distract the killer as much as you can. Like, get in his way, get in his face. Obviously, don't give him free hits, but try and get him to chase you away from the door so you can let your teammates get the doors open for you guys. And the other one, if you are the one getting the door open, make sure the killer is in chase and not just going straight for you on the door and gets a free hit. But if they are, then make sure you get the doors open and then looking to block for your teammates to get out. If they're injured, you can just run behind them so the killer can't hit them and they have to hit you. And my last point today, guys, is ranking up. Ranking up in Survivor, in my opinion, is really not that difficult. What you want to be doing is getting 1 or 2 generators done, 1 or 2 unhooks, and then a bit of chase, and you'll rank up like every single match. It's really not too difficult. Just don't hide all game because that really hurts your points. Don't unhook in front of the killer, that also really hurts your points. And just try and balance your points out across chases, generators, healing, unhooking, and surviving. So that's pretty much it for my video, guys. If you want to go more in depth on anything like that, then let me know in the comments and I'll look at making some more videos for you guys. In the future, I'll be making some videos on how to counter certain killers and their abilities, because some killers are a lot harder to play against when you're in higher ranks, and some killers are really hard to play against when you're in lower ranks. Thank you very much, guys, for watching the video. Make sure you drop a like and subscribe, and let your friends know about my content. See you in the next one.